Hey guys, so you've probably have heard about the Claude code leaking and you're wondering what does that mean for everyone else in the world? Claude code is something that I do use and prefer versus other tools, but it's definitely high in the ranks of different competitors and the code leaking is a serious thing. So I kind of want to go over what that means. Just looking here on my computer, I'm looking through different articles and just looking at the technical risks and concerns. An Anthropic spokesperson confirmed the leak, saying that the company is now reviewing steps to prevent a similar human error from occurring again. Earlier today, a Claude code release included some internal information. As you can see, the leak source, the NPM registry, through a public NPM package, and that package had over 500,000 lines of code. And inside of it, you're able to see a little bit of internal workings, and that can be an issue for Claude, right? So, of course, developers are going to want to download it for the repo. If we're thinking about the system itself, it shouldn't be easy to get Claude's information, but because they leaked it, now people have access to it. The only thing is, I believe there are going to be safeguards and different cybersecurity implementations that Claude has put in to prevent the code being taken. So it's not as easy as people think. And if other competitors were to use the code, I'm pretty sure they already know that those safeguards were in place for them specifically. So they're going to have to really be able to shuffle through the code and see if they're able to really use any of it. I did not myself download the code and I will not be showing you inside of this video because I don't want anything to happen with my channel or this video being taken down, but I can definitely show you the stats. So that's what I'll do. So Anthropic's one of the biggest AI companies on the planet, as you know. So their source code has been leaked via their NPM registry. The good thing about this, though, is that they did release some internal, even well, it's not a good thing that they released some internal code, but no sensitive customer data or credentials were involved or exposed. So that's the good thing about it. But this is the original source map file that exposed more than 500,000 lines of code. And, people are trying to duplicate that, see if they can create something out of it or see what the secret sauce to Claude really is. I will say that leaks like this will be very, very easy to crawl by other AI. So it's not 100% people who are finding these things. It's like AI is able to go in and crawl these websites all the time, more than a human would be to find any security breach that can make someone have an advantage over Claude code. One of the things that I want to point out, though, in regards to their review process, this was due to human error, right? So if their best practices is using Claude and changing how the world thinks about programming to code, are they actually reviewing the code and who allowed the review process to be approved? Those are the thoughts I have inside of my head. Are we actually reviewing code that is literally outputted by machines? And there are risks if we are not reviewing that code. I think also Claude had an unreleased model that was leaked even like before this situation has happened, called Mythos or Claude Mythos, like a more upgraded version of what Claude could be. So, an Anthropic spokesperson said the new model represents a step change in AI's performance and is the most capable we've built to date. The company said the model is currently being trialed by early access customers. So that's really, really interesting. Like, we're in times where you have to be very, very careful about putting things out into the world because if you are not properly securing them, you do run that risk of it being stolen. And so then we get into intellectual like questions about the property itself because you are making the AI. Is it truly your code or is it because it's made by AI and AI is used by everyone, are we able to use that? And so we also get into questions of, are we able to take open source data and make it our own? We have the cybersecurity threats, we have the intellectual property loss, we have reputation damage as well that we're dealing with. Even though we're in the early stages of this, I do want to go ahead and give some open insights that these things are very important if you are building applications, if you are scaling something for yourself. You're going to want to make sure that on the back end, you don't have these incidents and that you're being being very, very thorough about your review processes. It's really interesting to see a big company like this that has scaled by design and really influenced not only the world, but big corporations as well. And that's all I'm going to report on today. This is big news and it's really interesting. I don't think anybody really is going to make anything out of this per se, but it's something to note, right? If you have not subscribed, subscribe down below because I like to just report on anything that I learn or see or whatever it is dealing with software development. So